I grew up in a small town outside of Bangor called Herman. Went through school, got married, had a child, and then along the way, alcohol became a problem for me. In 1998, I entered recovery. I went through some counseling. I attended 12-step meetings, and that's really where my process began. One of the best things that I did for my recovery process was to become involved in service work. One of the things that 12-step programs try to gear you towards is giving back, paying it forward. And personally, I found that that was one of the things that helped me become a better person, stay in contact with people that were like-minded, and to actually give the next person in line a hand up. One of the biggest things that I've seen a change in over the last several years, and I'd like to attribute it to my connection with the Bangor Area Recovery Network. I and several other people in the area were the ones that kind of put that whole organization together. We opened our doors in 2009, and it has just grown leaps and bounds along the way. It's a recovery center, and what that does is it allows for a place for people that want to recover from their addiction, no matter whether it's drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, it gives them a place to do that. A bunch of us recognized years ago that having a place to go for people that want to do that, rather than just 12-step meetings, it would be nice if there was a brick and mortar place where those things could take place. I have found that it's just been a wonderful experience for me. I learned about myself as a recovering alcoholic before. The expectation was if somebody wanted to quit, they should just quit, and that they should be successful the first time through. Unfortunately, that's not true. For me, I'm very, very lucky. For me, that has been the case so far. But I feel that because of the service work that I do and that giving back, that paying forward that we talk about, that has allowed me to continue that process, and it's allowed me to be successful. And one of the things that I do to pay it forward is the barn has a jail outreach program, and it's been my experience that since we've been doing that, I've seen quite a few women that I've seen at the jail at the barn. I've seen them be successful. I've seen them relapse too, but I've also seen them try. And I think the trying, the encouragement of the trying, and the hand up and say, okay, so you weren't successful that time. Let's try it again. I'll help you. I'll show you what I did. I'll tell you what I did. And, maybe that will help you. That's why I do that jail meeting, because I want someone else to have hope. I want them to be able to know that I did it, and if I did it, someone else can do it. Because of the opioid epidemic, I think more and more people are changing their ideas about what that means, what being an addict means. It used to be that addicts were just needle users, or addicts were really down in their luck, and they've made that choice. They chose to become an addict. And I think that people are understanding that some people start out using a prescribed medication thinking that they're taking care of themselves, but there's that really fuzzy line of where am I taking care of myself, and when I want to get off this, my body tells me I can't. And that mental obsession takes over, and I have to have it. Yes, I can choose to try not to do that, but that mental obsession just takes over and tells me I have to. You could be a doctor's daughter or a lawyer's son, or it could be your brother-in-law or your sister or your mother or your father. It doesn't matter anymore. It knows no boundaries. It never did. But because of the whole opioid thing and OxyContin, it's changed the outlook. At least I've seen that it's changed the outlook of some people to say, I don't know what to do. this is my brother. My brother is a great guy, but he can't stop using these drugs. And he couldn't get his oxy, so now he's gone to heroin. Oh my gosh, what do we do? In a perfect world, it would be wonderful if people could walk into their doctor's office and say, "Doctor, I have a problem with addiction. Where can I go and what can I do?" And that doctor would have a laundry list, or at least 2 or 3 places that could take someone that very time. And I know people say, well, how are we going to take care of all these people that are drug addicted, and, what can we do for them? I think some plain old empathy. Gee, I'm really sorry to hear that. I wish I could help you. Have you tried this, or have you gone there, or just share. I had an aunt, or I had a sister that had that problem too, and I understand where you're coming from. This is what she did, or this is what that one did. Just an attaboy sometimes is enough to keep somebody from using again. Those people that have lost family members really don't care how much it would cost, because they don't understand how you can put a cost on their loved one's life. And when we lost 386 people last year, what cost is that? If you could have saved 10 of them, or 1 of them. I know people don't want their taxes to go up. I don't want my taxes to go up. But I don't want to see those kind of numbers every year either, because they're not just a number. Those are people. If you show someone how to have empathy and you promote it yourself just by doing it yourself, I'm just such a big proponent of pay it forward, because it to me, it has the most impact. It's something simple. It's something that you can do for someone else, and maybe just not responding so negatively before you do your own research about what you're talking about. Like I said before, at first I thought that methadone replacement and medication-assisted treatment was not worthwhile. But once I took the time to do the research, and I checked the federal government's research and the local research through SAMHSA and things like that, I found that it does impact people. There is always going to be somebody that's going to take advantage of the system, no matter what that system is. But at the same time, that old saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, if something works and it's successful and you can show that people are benefiting from it, why not let them try? The advice I would give someone that was contemplating changing their life by stop using whatever it is that they're using to get by, I would say just keep thinking about it. And be gentle. I think the thing that I've seen most of people, and with myself, was when I was new in recovery, I would beat myself up and say, oh, you should know better. You don't know what you don't know. So be gentle with yourself, gather information, and just like in the business world, hang out with people that have what you want. As a person myself in long-term recovery, I love to have people come up and talk to me that are new in recovery and have that conversation about, gee, Jean, what did you do when you were where I was? And I'll tell them where I was and what I did. You're not going to make the right decision every time. You're not going to be perfect. You're human. Allow yourself to be human. And just be gentle with yourself. If you encounter someone who's willing to share that with you, be gentle with them, because it took a lot of courage for them to say that out loud. It's one thing to admit it to yourself and share it with your friends, but to share it with the world, that takes a lot of courage.